Trade like the casino, not the gambler. You can see exactly where market makers need to hedge their positions in the option scammer and how you can participate from that with an exact AI trading plan and even know the levels before Wall Street opens. So let's get into it. Here you can see that we have a call volume resistance at the 650s over here in the ES. And that means that we have in the option scammer kind of positioning in the call wall with a lot of volume. So hedgers are positioned over there at the 650s and we even know this price level before price hits it. And in addition to that, we have an analysis today that we have a negative GEX and a trending day, and even news and sentiments based on Iran conflict and other stuffs are bearish. So everything screams bearish to me today, even if we just had like this huge spike and huge buying over here. Often it gets a correction just to the immediate start of that buying. It happens often when we have like this huge news pumps. So in crypto, by example, you say pump and dump, and sometimes it even happens like in the SPOOs. And here you can see that we had this 650 level from the 655s to 650s, and that we have this huge gamma volume resistance over there. And if we take a look at the exact prop control approach today and recommendation, we can see that we have to go short between the 450 to 50s and stop loss above the 55s and take profit at the 30s and TP2 at the 20s. So if we take a look, my entry actually was exactly in the micro ES over here at the 650s with a stop loss above the 55s. So my stop loss almost got hit, but it makes sense where stop loss is. So its stop loss is above this aggressive selling, above this volume, and we also had like this huge delta ledge over here. So actually I put my stop loss a little bit higher than the prop control recommendation was. So you also have to recognize like what happens in the order flow and not take the trade blindly. But if we would have made this entry blindly, then you can see that with this entry at the 45s and the stop loss above the 55s, the trade just run to TP1 at the 33s and to TP2 at the 620s over here. And in the order flow, what was really interesting that we have this aggressive buying over here going through this higher time frame level I mapped out. Then we have this huge delta ledge and price like just pull back this delta ledge, and then we had aggressive selling through it. And also the limits over here, the bids just got pulled lower, chasing price to get a cheap entry. And over here we have this massive absorption of 2,000 lots. Man, that's a lot. And from here price was just reversing at the exact level at the 620s where the long just called out from the PropControl AI today, and with a TP at the 640s just got hit. Also another nice trade, but for me I did not took the long today because as I just mentioned, we have a bearish bias, and if I just look at price action, price just collapsing like half an hour after RTH open, price was just collapsing, and all this buying failed, aggressive selling, and then the pullback. This was for me the perfect short. I just even trade with half size today because this pump was kind of messy, and I was not like 100% confident in my trading today. That is why I traded half size. So, and let's have a look at the exact P&L. So inside of prop control, where I also like journal my trades. So you have everything inside from the prop accounts manager, your playbooks, your personal management, the AI prop coach, which gives you real-time advices, the strategies and calculations for your risk management and stuff. We can just dive into it in a little second in the calculator, because I think it just makes sense at the moment to explain you why I just cut half size today. So it was even less than half size. So my average loss is around $63, but my maximum risk I defined at the prop accounts tab. So here you have presets for different prop firms, and I trade at Lucid Trading, and here you can see my maximum daily loss limit based on the max drawdown, trailing drawdown actually, is $500, and my max risk per trade is $200. And today my stop loss was maybe like $100 or something, and I trade always the micro ES contract, because like if you trade minis like in the NQ for example, that's your stop loss is like, you can just have like real tight stop loss, and I don't like to have like too tight stop losses, because the market is very volatile due to the news and the sentiment at the moment, and that is why I always trade micro contracts, and I just can recommend to you to also trade like micros if you have like a 50k challenge, for example. So if we go into the calculator again, just show you, it's not like just based on my feelings why I do not risk that much, also based on data. So if we go inside the equity calculator over here, and we just track like for example my statistics at the moment with an average RR of 2 and an average risk of $60. So I just set up the statistics for you because it just took too long time. So let's dive into the equity calculator and why my max risk is $200 and why my average risk is $63. So I close out the trades, or I close trades sometimes a little bit before it goes to stop loss, because if I see in the order flow like big buying coming in, if I'm short, I definitely think about closing this trade and kind of managing the trade with the order flow, with the real data at the moment, with the level 2 data. And that is because my average loss is $63. And if we just type in the exact statistics, my current statistics in this Lucid Trading challenge, we can see with $63 average risk per trade and an average RR from 2 to 1 with a trailing drawdown of $2,000. What's the exact trailing drawdown from Lucid Trading? We can see that I will never hit my trailing drawdown. So that is really important, that you take not too much risk. So if the average risk is $300, you really quick hit your trailing drawdown, and your goal should always be to stay in the challenge even if you are not funded. Try to create good habits. That's the most important thing. Create a good risk management habit for you, then it is easier in the funded account to not blow it up. And if we take a multiply of not 5 graphs, so even 10 graphs, so more simulations, you can see I will never hit on my average risk my trailing drawdown. That gives me huge confidence, so a single trade does not attach my emotions too much. What's also important, so if you are risking $300 and have a $2,000 trailing drawdown, how does your emotional feel with like one loss or something? This is really important though. So yeah, if we put in, for example, a higher risk, you can see over here that over 100 trades, like in 10 times, 7 times with $300 risk, you will hit your trailing drawdown. So take care to not risk too much on your challenge, to not blow it up, and to not donate too much money to the prop firms. And that is why I've built PropControl, because I blew up like multiple challenges myself. I was funded a couple of times and even blew up my funded accounts because I did not follow my rules too much at one day. My risk management was too bad. I didn't do this calculations to like check out how my performance will be in the long term and what risks are really there. And to get consistent, you need risk management, which is adjusted to your strategy and adjusted to your statistics. And if you don't even know your statistics at the moment, you're actually trading blind. So you need to get conscious about your statistics. You need to get conscious with the PropControl AI, for example. Get conscious about your flaws to develop your trading. And if you don't even have a consistent approach right now, the strategy section actually is you helping out with the AI analysis based on 0 DTE option scammer data. So I really use it day by day. I even used it before I designed PropControl, so I really can trust based on the order flow. I can trust my system based on the 0 DTE option scammer, and I try to put like everything inside to have like a command center for myself, also for my friends. And if you think this can be helpful for you if you still do like stupid mistakes in your trading, do the same mistakes over and over again, if you are not maybe conscious about your flaws, if you like pull your credit card out and buy a challenge after a challenge, and if you don't see light at the end of the tunnel and you want to take this seriously, pass your prop firms, get payouts, get funded, then sign up for the 14-day free trial. Link is in the descriptions. And if you like this honest content with my real performance, with the real statistics, with the real strategy advices, then please leave a subscription over here, or a like or a comment or whatever, what helps out to grow my channel, to give you like way more value in the next videos too. And we see us in the next video. Thank you.